I'm not a bounty hunter. I've heard otherwise. I know that you sit on the throne of your former employer. Jabba ruled with fear. I intend to rule with respect.
You were all once captains under Jabba the Hutt.
I'm here to make a proposal that's mutually beneficial. Why speak of conflict when cooperation can make us all rich?
What prevents us all from killing you and taking what we want?
If you had spoken such insolence to Jabba, he'd have fed you to his menagerie.
Please, speak freely.
That deserves one of these. That's a little toast to the Boba Fett. Doesn't that feel eerily similar to how we started another show? I don't know. Feels like we've been down this road before.
Deja vu.
Anywho,
For sure.
hello everybody. It's Monday night. It's Kids on the Escalator cast. It's and also now called Chris's Big Comfy Chair show because
I got a comfy chair. I'm in the office. It's awesome in here. Well, I'm in the other office. Usually I'm in the coloring office, which is my wife's office and the business office. I like my office better. No offense, Lonnie, but yeah, my office is cool.
You got the chair, you got the big chair. We're gonna do a whole bunch of cool shit today and talk about some stuff. Thanks to everybody that tuned in last week briefly. You got yourself.
Well, you got one chance to see last week's show, man. If you weren't there to see it live,
did you ever miss out?
Yeah, you didn't get.
Did you ever
see it again either? Yeah.
Nope, and that's where that's gonna stop. That's where we're gonna stop talking. Anyways, it was a very exciting show, and thank you all for tuning in. But it is now Monday night, and we're hanging out.
It might have been the best show we've ever done.
I'm pretty sure. Now, given the NFT thing that's happening in the world, I think we could possibly release that down the road in an NFT form for like one.
See what happens.
Because I think it's worth like 10 G's, that chat.
Oh man, that was an episode. It was so good that it got shut down. I had to pull it. So. That was an episode to remember, my friends. But we're going to top it with this episode, right?
Always when we're talking wrestling, as Chris pointed out last week.
It's Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon comes after us, right?
But
Vince doesn't like us, friend.
It wasn't Vince this time, but we'll just leave it at that. So anyways.
I bet he was behind it.
It was a whole country that just, anyways.
Because of something that Vince did, though. Jerk.
We are going to get into some retro comic books today and a few other things. Big news this week. Lots of stuff. So Boba Fett, that was the big news last week, but we'll pretend it's last week again since a lot of you guys missed it. That was the Boba Fett trailer. What do you think, man?
Yeah, that was great. The Boba Fett trailer is awesome. Makes you want to see some more Boba Fett. You don't really get too much spoilers in there. You know what I mean? There's something I'll discuss something a little bit more about it after I hear from you. But yeah, there's it's because we already talked about it once, right? It's hard to dig up anything again. But it looks so standard to me. It's good. The camera shots look great. The shots of the city, the shots of Boba Fett and everything. But it doesn't really tell you too much. Just as I said, you don't get any glimpses of, say, like a Luke Skywalker or any other famous bounty hunters or anything like that. So I personally think that is a real teaser, man. They're keeping things hidden.
I feel like we're in a spot now with these kind of shows that we get basically the tease is over. Like sort of like Star Wars, when we were all excited about the new movies that came out, they kind of came and went, and then we were all excited about them. And then the Mandalorian, none of us really knew what that was about. and we kind of like, wow, cool. And then it got us excited about that. But we've had a glimpse into Boba Fett on this through The Mandalorian
Mhm.
and kind of have an idea. So there's not a lot of surprises in that. It's more just for me, and like it's just going to be a tale. I'm curious if they're going to get a lot of series out of it. If they're going to get a lot of like they're going to do like 7 seasons or something, or if it's just going to be like a
Mm.
2 season, 3 season thing, because it feels like it's kind of in the middle of something. It's tying in some things, and the guy that plays Boba Fett's kind of old. Like, I don't know. I'm thinking we're just going to get like maybe 2 seasons of it or something, maybe three. I don't know.
Maybe a passing the torch on kind of thing, like where he passes it on to the Mandalorian eventually. But I was going to say to you, like, so with the Boba Fett movie coming up, who would you really like to see in there from the past, like from the original Boba Fett era? There, who are
Yeah.
you hoping is going to? What character are you hoping is going to be in there?
Well, I want some more on Jabba's like that. I want more on that planet. I want some more of like we talked about the cool stuff that you got from the Mandalorian, like the inside, like where they store the speeders for it, like the garage and like things like that. So I'm more interested in that sort of like just keep diving into that little universe and give us little Easter eggs of stuff. Character wise, I mean, they've kind of put so many characters in all these things that I'm over charactered out when it comes to like the latest Star Wars trilogy. So going back to that, I want some more bounty hunters in there.
Yeah,
I
like
would
Boss.
love yeah, I would love to see if by chance they are going to, because this is taking place after Jedi. No, when's this taking
Yeah,
place?
it's after
This is
Return of the Jedi.
it's after Return of the
Because
Jedi.
he's got out of the Sarlacc pit, right?
Yeah. So I would like to see if they're gonna dive into any of the Zahn stuff. Like if they're gonna dive into like, isn't like Mara, wasn't Luke's wife? Didn't she's got some
Mara
kind of like,
Skywalker, yeah, Mara
yeah,
Jane
like
Skywalker, yeah, or Mary
I,
Jane Skywalker, however they pronounce
I
it.
think it was
Yeah,
Mara.
there's some stories about her in there for sure. Yeah.
I was kind of hoping that they would sort of like, they would tell the tale of the trail of the first three and sort of like
Mhm.
this is what was going on, and then they go back to the Clone Wars and they'll touch a little bit on that. But but I want to kind of see what's where they're going to go with it from the standpoint of like Boba leading the charge now, because he's not in the later movie, so something kind of goes on. You would know better because of the comic books, I guess, but I don't know
We're
where does
explaining
Boba.
it right now.
Yeah,
That's as I was mentioning before, the tie-in with a lot of this that's going on is being explained in the books now. So,
right.
they're not jumping they're not jumping the shark, right? They're not going to jump ahead and let us know too much before the show comes out. So, when
Yeah,
the show comes out, there'll be lots more comic books coming out telling side stories like they originally did, I'm sure. And they're all really good.
I would love this to go maybe like 2 seasons. I don't know if I need 8 seasons of Boba Fett. I think
Right.
I'm down with like a 3 season tie-in that goes into something and kind of ties up all the Easter eggs that we've been looking for. I definitely would love it to lead to some kind of Mara storyline where, and then they don't, because they've just ignored that storyline of Luke getting married and everything. And I really wish they didn't. So kind of hoping that they do something with that. All the old bounty hunters, I want to get as much bounty hunter information as possible,
Mhm.
but I want to get more information on Jabba. Like I just kind of want it all to kind of be like Tatooine based, kind of like what was going on that planet, all the shit that they just kind of skipped over. I want that for this series. So that's my personal thing.
Yeah,
But
that's
that's a
cool.
little,
It sounds good.
yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah, they could have. There's a lot of the bounty hunters they could have on there, right? Like even just here and there to see what they're thinking of now that Boba Fett has taken over Jabba's spot. And then other people will be gunning for Boba Fett at this spot.
Was that always the plan though, Chris? And
What's that?
it's just because I didn't dive too far into the books. I got some of the Zahn books and I did some stuff, but it was that always the plan that Boba did get out of Sarlacc and take over Jabba's position, or did they
I've
write
never
that for
read
this?
anything. No,
Yeah.
I've never read anything on that, but I didn't read a lot of those Zahn books either. I was a lot in the comic books, and it was the main story. There wasn't a lot of Boba Fett going on. It's funny because a lot of people were just they were okay with that. No, he's in the Sarlacc pit. He died. You know what I mean? But and
Yeah.
then our generation got older, and we were like, no, he can't still be in there. What the hell happened, man? He's Boba Fett. You can't just kill off Boba Fett that way. But I was gonna say, um, what I would like to see in this series, the Boba Fett series, would be, and this character you either love him or you hate him, and that's Darth Maul, because he got chopped in
Yeah.
half, and they brought him back in so many storylines, right? As in the Han Solo movie as well, he basically took over the underworld cartel there. And I would like to see some Darth Maul in there. I'd like to see Darth Maul versus Boba Fett. I think that'd be great. I think that'd be a really cool battle.
I love Darth Maul. I thought
So
he was the
you're
most
okay with the Darth Maul being brought back? Because
totally.
I've
I'm
talked with a lot of people that,
underutilized, totally underutilized.
yeah,
I was like, what a waste of a character, and there had to be a bigger plan for him. There
I would
had to
think
be.
so. Yeah.
He's such
Well,
a great character, and like because you remember, like, okay, every kind of character was a bit mysterious in that world,
mhm.
but everyone kind of got their due a little bit, for the most part. Not the musicians in
The cantina, no.
in the cantina, but like which they're getting now on The Mandalorian. But what I'm saying, like at the time, everyone kind of got their due a little bit, except for him. I just feel like that was like, here he is, one movie and gone.
Mhm.
And I've always wondered if there was a bigger plan for him, because I just felt like it was a wasted character. I loved him.
Yeah.
I thought it was, they could have gone, like they should have had him like survive that whole thing, and then they should have built the last trilogy all on him. Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
well,
Like,
I think George Lucas's original plan was something like that he was going to come back,
yeah.
and there was going to be more to do with Darth Maul.
Oh, yeah.
I'm thinking we're going to see him. Well, no, and then we'll just so Boba Fett. Anything more you want to mention on Boba Fett before we switch over to?
No, I mean, I'm down with
Obi-Wan?
I'm all in, and I can't wait to watch it. And
Oh, yeah.
I think between that and Mandalorian, we're gonna get our filler of Easter eggs, and then it's just gonna be curious as to where it's gonna go from there. Because much like JJ said a couple weeks ago, I'm fine with a whole bunch of stuff, but I'm also like happy to wait a long time for more stuff, because I'm good. We're just getting inundated, and as long as it's good, that's good. But if it starts slacking off a bit, if it goes like Falcon Winter Soldier, which I was fine with, but I was like, I mean, I wasn't like, I don't ever want to feel that about these Star Wars series. I want to be like, oh man, they're all great. They're all so good.
Well, Star Wars have some great villains as well. So, one other thing about Boba Fett, were you wondering, or are you concerned, or would you like to see? Do you want to see like the more Mandalorians come back, or just the bounty hunters? Because there's the whole Ahsoka Tano deal that she could come back and be pissed off that he's wearing the armor and maybe believe him or
I
not
think that's
believe him.
going to happen for sure. I think that's going to happen for sure.
Oh, so you think we're going to see Ahsoka Tano on there again? I heard the wrestling girl isn't going to come back though. What's her name there?
Sasha Banks.
Yeah, I heard she's not coming back.
I mean, yeah, I would like to see that, but I think that they've started building a bit of a story on the Mandalorian, so I think you're going to get a little bit. You're probably going to have a bit of a crossover, I would think.
That's what I'm thinking as well, huh?
Yeah, I'm thinking you're going to get a bit of a crossover on that, because that's a great point. I mean, he's ruling now, and they're like, well, we want our armor and stuff. So I don't know. I think
right, like or the opposite, right? Where it's like they follow the storyline where Jango Fett was leading the Mandalorians for a while, and Boba Fett is, Jango's son, so he would be the likely heir, and they start worshiping him. Could go either way, you know what I mean? But I think another interesting fact or thing to keep aware of is watching the Mandalorian and this Boba Fett show possibly arc to the same spot, right? So you got these two storylines that are really, really cool, and then they end up meeting together in this finale that's fantastic. Having all kinds of other extra characters in there.
Well, and then when's Obi-Wan's story based on?
Okay, so now that's right after A New Hope. So what's going on with the Obi-Wan story? Or no, sorry, it's after Revenge of the Sith. So the Obi-Wan story is Obi-Wan on Tatooine, and he is watching, from far away, little Luke Skywalker. So the same actor and actress that played Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru, from the last series and all, they are going to be in it. And from the earlier series, they're going to be playing Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. So that's kind of cool to see that back in there again. The thing with the Obi-Wan, first, he's my favorite Jedi. But secondly, if I could ask for any other character to be into the Obi-Wan series, it would be Darth Vader. And that's who we're getting, is Darth Vader. So I'm just thrilled about that. That's awesome. And Darth Vader at the end of, if we look at Darth Vader at the end of, what was it,
Rogue One.
Rogue One. How badass was that Darth Vader?
Oh, yeah. That was great.
Get that Darth Vader in. Now, the other thing I wanted to add about the Obi-Wan. Now, did you ever play that Force Unleashed game?
Yes, I did. For PSP, actually. I had it for PSP.
Very cool. Okay, so do you remember that Galen Marek character, the main character, Starkiller?
Yeah, he
So
was.
he's
Yeah,
going to be in the Obi-Wan show apparently, and
that's
going to be
awesome.
in there as his apprentice. So, and I guess it's the same guy because they formed the face off after him and everything. So he's going to be in there with Vader. So Vader hopefully will be the ruthless Vader, and he's going to be, because that's nowadays with all the stuff they can do, it should be pretty
Because
rad.
he would be full evil. He would be full on at that stage.
Pissed off, looking
Oh
for
yeah,
his, for
yeah.
Obi-Wan. And then, so what's so what Darth Vader says to Obi-Wan when he sees him in New Hope? What is he? I can't remember. I should know, but
Is this the
you've grown weak since I last seen you.
right?
So he's not really giving away whether there was another great battle, lightsaber battle. Maybe we're going to see another one. That would be amazing. And of course, there'll probably be flashbacks with Hayden Christensen in there, right? And
I think he's coming back, isn't he? Isn't he coming into that Obi-Wan series?
Plus, I'm saying
yeah.
he's underneath but he wouldn't be like, he would be the Darth Vader version at this point, right?
Sure.
So is he? I think he's going to be underneath the armor, as well as I'm thinking there's got to be some kind of flashbacks or Force-sensitive premonitions where Hayden Christensen will be playing Anakin in the past. You know what I mean? Like, it's too good of an opportunity to show some things that we all wanted to see from the past, interactions between Anakin and Obi-Wan, that possibly they could show, getting Hayden Christensen back in there, and with the possibilities of the storylines that they could expand on with Obi-Wan having such great actors involved in it. I think it's going to be awesome. I'm stoked for that one, because again, Obi-Wan's my favorite Jedi.
And then we had I wasn't able to get the video for this.
Well, no. So who would you like to see in the Obi-Wan series then? I wanted to
for
see
me,
Darth Vader, and I got my wish.
Obi-Wan.
Darth
I mean,
Vader?
yeah. But again, I want to see character-wise. I've kind of seen all the characters. So for me, like, I want a bit of a new. I want some new stuff for me personally. I mean, I like the I like the Easter eggs. Like, oh, that's cool, or this or that. But he went away to isolation. So I want that whole thing broken down. Like, how does he eat? How does he like do this? How is he doing that? Like this, how's that relationship with the Sand People? How is this? And like, the Jawas, like, who's running that show that he's keeping an eye on everything? So I want all of that as part of this, and then origin stuff. And then hopefully they'll fix the whole goddamn thing and actually make Rey his daughter somehow. And then they'll find a way. They'll find a way to tie it back around. I don't know, but yeah, that's character wise. Honestly, I'm charactered out, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I want something a little bit fresh. I love the retro thing, but I want something a little bit fresh here.
So the cool thing is I'm thinking so far it looks like it's Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, that's, and then of course he's watching after Luke and everything else is,
and I'm fine with that.
And hilarity ensues. But that's that's like Batman Joker. Am I right?
And we're gonna get a little Luke. We're gonna get a little Luke probably.
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? And you'll get the Jawas, and there'll be a little hilarity. And but as I'm saying, like, it's like Batman versus Joker, man. You got your Obi-Wan and you got Darth Vader. What more can you ask for in a Star Wars TV show? If you ask me, man, bravo, beautiful.
Yeah, it's going to be lovely. Speaking of,
I'm stoked
when we're going to get into that. But what was I going to show you here? Oh yeah, because we're getting into some retro stuff. But speaking of Joker and Batman, I found that today.
Oh yeah, that's great.
That's the I don't know what print that
trade
is.
paperback.
It's the green one.
They call it the trade. Yeah, it's a trade version of it.
Anyways,
all of them together.
That was pretty awesome. And the other news of the week, which I didn't get the video for, unfortunately, but they did announce, or they did show the Spider-Man trailer this week, and there's a lot of people going on about it because it's got they're kind of tying in a lot of the old characters back in this thing again. So it's kind of the thing about this picture that I'm getting from online is everyone's saying this picture tells 1,000 tales about what this movie's about. Now, you've seen the trailer for it, yeah? For this one? For Spider-Man?
Well, you can see the Sinister Six outlines in there.
Yep.
You got the Green Goblin, you got Electro, you got Mysterio, or possibly Pumpkin Bombs, and you've got you got Doc Ock, of course, in the foreground there.
Yeah.
So he's going to need other Spider-Men to fight all those characters, right? And then as I just to throw in quickly, because it's funny because we're both not huge fans of the Morbius movie coming up for different reasons. but
Yeah.
it looks like it's going to be the in between. And they called this a while ago, man, a long time ago. Morbius is going to be the lead in, the bridge between Venom and Spider-Man, right? And then hopefully they'll close Morbius out. But I don't know if we should go into the reasons why we don't like Morbius, but let's say that for another one when the movie comes out, maybe after we're hacking on
I
it.
mean,
But it's
yeah.
going to bridge the two together, though, right? Because you can see in the Morbius trailer, he says, "Who are you?" And he says, "Bruh, I'm Venom." Nah, just kidding. Michael Morbius. And then, and what was the spider? There's a Spider-Man link in there as well.
They've got.
Sorry. It was with the Vulture's in there. Michael Keaton is in the advertisement for Morbius. We should stay in touch, kind of thing, right? So I don't know if Vulture was in that picture there that you showed as well.
No, I didn't see it. Let me see here for a second. I don't know if he is. No, I don't see it.
See anything about? I guess there's a bunch of pumpkin bombs underneath the arms, maybe. It's hard to see. I got my glasses on too.
You got it. Yeah.
But that's pretty cool. So that'll be
Yeah.
exciting, and that'll make the Sinister Six comic books go up in value, which is fantastic for me because I've got some oldies of those. Man, those are great. What a great Spider-Man's villains are amazing, man. He's got such rad villains.
Well, you touched on this before.
He's the only character that can compete with Batman's villains. His rogues gallery, man. Who probably it's a tough one. Who has like the best? That's a great question for everybody out there. What hero has the best villains rogue gallery? Who has the best villains out there? Is it Batman? Is it Superman? Is it Spider-Man?
I'm leaning towards Batman myself because I just love the craziness of the whole thing. Like for me, it's like the Riddler. I feel like with Batman, it was like, well, I can't comment on this because I don't know how they came up with the characters. You would know about how they came up with the characters, but to me, this idea of like this everyday guy that happens to be a super detective crime fighter,
right?
We've got to make his villains a little bit more. There wasn't a lot of supernaturalness with that. It was always like some kind of like, the Penguin was a little wacky. The Riddler was kind of a normal human. The Joker in essence, if you could, so I never found it to be overly supernatural like with Superman, which I am a big Superman fan of, but I found that like some of these character, I kind of like the more natural bad guy.
Well, Superman is so overpowered that it's hard to find a villain to fight him. You know what I mean? Like that's like the same villain. Could you imagine? Let's say the Penguin going after Superman. Like I don't know, maybe like realistically, come on, that's.
Well, I mean that's the whole psyche around Superman is you got to figure out how to beat him. They touch on that in the Superman and Lois series. It's really good. You still got to watch that.
There's so much stuff on right now, man. Wow.
How they can get him like to almost die is great in that, and it's just kind of like a cool. It's outside of the kryptonite thing. There's other things, and it's kind of there's a bit of a human side to. Yeah, he can die, and I mean I think that's what's happening now with this new Black Adam. They're like he can beat Superman.
Nice, yeah.
So I don't know. There's a whole thing there, but that's gonna be fun to do. So I'm stuck. My daughter is very excited about the new Spider-Man. She's a big Tom Holland.
Cool. Yeah,
she likes him a lot. So,
yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to it as well. As again, like I say, the villains. There's going to be a lot of them in this one, but if they're going to be acting as the Sinister Six, that's pretty cool. That's pretty decent, especially coming from other dimensions. Now, the one thing that I got from the trailer is the very first time I saw it, I think there's a Doctor Strange in there at some point that's not really Doctor Strange. When he says to Wu, he says, you're not going to do the spell, are you? And Doctor Strange is like, nah, I'm not going to do it. And then he leaves and he's like, yes, I am.
I think Willem Dafoe's in there as well.
Oh, it's the Green Goblin.
I heard he was in there. I thought so. Yeah, I think we're going to get a bit of a mashup here. It could be interesting. Now, let me ask you this, because I'm actually not a big fan of the Doctor Strange thing. Where do you land?
Yeah, I really like Doctor Strange. I find Doctor a little more, I like the ones that are a little more adult oriented. I'd rather see somebody studying and working at some mystic stuff than see Spider-Man in high school. I'm finding the older I get, the more the high school side of Spider-Man movies are really showing my age. I'm starting to look it up. It's like, oh, what's going on over there? What's up? I get it. and I'm not hacking on it. By no means am I hacking on it. I get it, man. Spider-Man's for kids, and they need to see that he's a high school kid. I totally get it. But after seeing it for like 40 years of my life, you know what I mean? It's like I want action Spidey, left and right, left and right. But that's just because I've been reading for so long. But I get why the kids like it, and I think it's done really, really well. But yeah,
We are officially live from Machete Comics. Check this out, friends. Which means we're going to deep dive into some comics, and we're going to get into a few things about just classic comics. Some of the things that we've been, that we do on this show. And Chris, obviously,
yeah. So what I want you to do, I got to just turn my camera around to the other side of my office here, to where my comic books are. So you just make yourself big screen there, I guess, and show off some of the comics you have. Now, mind you, I'm not going to be able to hear you once I get set up over here. So,
so Chris is over there doing the thing. So one of the things that we love to do is deep dive into some of the subjects that we're super passionate about. And Chris, there's no one more passionate about comics than Chris, but we've all been collecting them for a lot of years over my my career as a human. I've been trying to collect some stuff. I'm a big Superman fan, as you guys know, and a Batman fan, as you guys know. But we wanted to kind of dive into some of Chris's stuff, because Chris has got, he's got the stash. And Chris has got some great stuff that everyone needs to see, and you can check it out on his TikTok, which I'm going to put up right here, which is Chris's TikTok right there. You can check him out on TikTok. It's Chris Machete. You got to check him out. So he's got some really great stuff, and he's always putting stuff up there like retro this and look at this and the classic like comic book pull. It's awesome. But I've got a few of my own that I'm going to show off. So one of the other things, actually, I want to show Chris this one when he's back on the mic.
I still got my ears on here. I can still.
You got your ears on. I'm gonna. Can you come into the screen for a minute, because I'm going to show you some stuff as I'm going through here.
I won't be able to hear you if I come into the screen.
What a guy! You can see me though, yeah. You can see me, yeah.
Yeah, I can see you.
All right. So one of the things that I am a big fan of, back in the day. So a couple things. I was always a really big Ghost Rider fan. Yeah, so look at this.
That's good. That's from the not the original. That's from the second series. That's awesome.
Yeah, I was a big, huge Ghost Rider fan. So when they relaunched Ghost Rider, I was one of the first ones down to the comic book store. So I've got number 1 right there of the first Ghost Rider, the reissue of the series, which is awesome.
Nice, yeah.
And I think I made it up to like probably 25 issues, and then I kind of stopped because whatever. But that was a cool thing. And then I got some classic stuff given to me over the years. And this isn't in bags anymore because it's just a beat to shit. But you know what I mean? There's a classic. That's like cool.
You should still have that in the bag and backer board though. That's good.
Yeah,
not
it's
that bad
shape though. But look
still,
at the back there. We've got the Superpowers collection. I love that old Superpowers series there.
Oh, those are cool, huh?
Yeah, I love that old Superpowers series. It was amazing. Geez, look at this thing. The cover's off of it completely. It just ripped. That's a classic one. This is from 1975. I mean, I don't even know. I'm pulling out some of these old ones. Remember this series? I don't know if you remember this, Chris.
Night Mask, New Universe. Yeah, I got a couple New Universe comic books,
which is pretty rad. This is a classic one of the first comics I was given as a child.
Oh, Conan, yeah. I was just looking at my Conans last night. That's really
classic
cool.
Conan. Look at the
was really cool, man.
The back, the Return of the Jedi video game cartridge. Look at this thing.
Oh, Atari. Yeah, beautiful. Oh, right? I love those old ads, man.
I love that. Yeah, isn't it amazing?
Get me so stoked.
I've just got a few of these here. I'll show you because then mine will pale.
Oh, there you go. We got a Master of Kung Fu.
Yeah, mine will pale in comparison to your collection.
Oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it, man.
What's going on in the world is Lego is still a thing.
Yay!
You're building a dream, right? My little guy's all about that. Everyone's favorite show, as we get into it here, back in the day, right?
Oh wow, you got the A-Team. What number is that?
This one here is A-Team. It's looking a little bit. April 2nd. Let's look here. Stan Lee presents.
Mhm.
Look at the inside cover, Chris.
What do you got?
Joust.
More Atari Joust.
And-
Joust was a fun game. Oh, and Hubert. Hubert was frustrating, huh?
I know, but that was
Man,
great.
I love those old Atari ads.
Um,
The box always looked so great, and then you got the game, and it was like, hey.
number
very
6
close
of the
to that.
superpowers.
Oh, that's cool. Just like the figures. That's great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Great
Old
cover,
comic.
too.
Yeah. And then this is a classic. This is the oldest one that I have that's in real bad shape. 1968. This one here, which is pretty badass.
Oh, that's old. Nice.
1968, and they were doing ads even in 1968 for Hot Wheels.
Oh, that's cool.
And
look at that
the
classic
craziest
ad.
thing about this ad is that all the Hot Wheels still look like this.
Yeah, they
It's not
do,
like they
huh?
changed the design very much. They, you know,
Oh.
the Hot Wheels are kind of all the same. Well, for $1.50, you can get some Tootsie Rolls, a Tootsie Roll swim toy.
Nice.
And what else is going on here? We've got this is pretty excellent. If I can overcome any enemy, Chris.
Oh my
Power
gosh,
of
those were
self-
the best.
Act now, $2.98.
That's great.
Isn't that funny? Because we
Oh, I
talked
love
about
those old ads
the
like that.
inside of these ads, like the inside of the old comics, which you do on Skeletron. You do some really cool inside cover stuff, and but look at there's still some really great, got that old comic smell. Like this.
Oh, I love that smell. I do. It's weird, but it's like an old bookstore.
And then of course, obviously, I found this, which is one of my prized possessions at the time.
Yeah, that's
You can see the
bitchin', huh?
Twice Told Tales from Port Perry for $1, and I think we touched on it before, but the one of the most. Any reason was this for notes, Chris? Any reason why they left the back like this?
Nah, I think they just
No. There's no like secret little thing there. There's a postscript.
no, just asked for too many pages. I think that was going to be printed.
Yeah, look at this. I'll just get into this a little bit.
Yeah, that is such a that would be if they did the movie, a live movie of that. They've done cartoon ones, but not doing it justice. But the scene where Robin gets beaten with the crowbar is just iconic, right?
They're locked in. The Joker locked them in. The building blows up. And what a way! Like this was some serious writing. Like this was or some serious like he's just beating the shit out of Robin. Look at this.
Oh, yeah.
Beating him up.
They had to have 2 stories prepared for what followed, right? Because it was a phone-in to decide whether Robin dies or the Joker gets caught or dies or whatever.
There it is, right there. There's that one that you're talking about.
Oh yeah, where it just shows him going down on that. It's just that's iconic. That was done really, really well and disturbing.
Then you have, Batman shows up for help. Geez. And then you've got the countdown. And you're reading this as a fan, and there's the countdown to like, is he going to make it out? Is he going to make it out? So it was just what a great. And then I guess the most iconic scene out of this for me, and then we'll move on to you, sir. There's some great Batman, Superman stuff in here. They're together, but right here, I mean, come on. One of the most iconic things in the history of comics right there.
Oh yeah, that's brilliant. What great artwork, man. They don't do them like that anymore. That's really cool.
So anyways, so that's I got a handful of things from my piddly little collection, but it's off to Machete Land. Chris, what do you got for us, man? Let me just get rid of this background so we're not lagging.
Okay.
All right, we're with Chris's
Spider-Man
stash.
there,
huh? Okay. Leaning in.
Sure, you see me okay?
Yep.
Slightly
Can we?
maybe, I don't know. My wife's not here. Hey. That's okay. Da-da-da. Sorry, guys. Let me just turn this over one more. See what I'm doing? Okay. Right on. There we go. Hey. All right. So I pulled some of my comic books out from the closet there. My comics are Spider-Man. He's losing his hair. Or Spider-Man. Yeah, there's Spider-Man. So I grabbed some boxes here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over how you take care of your comics. First off, Brent, first we'll talk to Brent about some of his comics. Got some rad ones there. How you want to take care of them, where you want to store them, and I'm also going to show you the my top 5 comic books that I have. Okay, and I've been collecting for probably about 40 years, because I kept all my comics from when I was really, really young. So I've always enjoyed comic book collecting. A couple memories are when we would go
probably even a little longer than that
cottage, and there was a little store there, and I would pick up some comic books because there wasn't, a whole, fishing and stuff like that's great, but I was very creative. I like drawing and I like comic books, so I'm trying to make an excuse for why I was buying comic books instead of out hunting and stuff. So, but I got some great comics at that point. I got some John Byrne X-Men at that time that just came out right around the Hellfire Club saga, which was amazing. Holy cow. And Contest of the Champions, one of my favorite series ever. Wolverine Limited series. It was also, I found that there in like grocery stores and stuff. And then after that, we didn't have a comic book store in the town we were living at the time, Ingersoll. So my mom would take me to this little bookstore in Woodstock. And Brent, you were mentioning the smell of comic books. Like there's just, whenever I smell an old comic books, it takes me back to when my mom would take me to this little bookstore in Woodstock. And I can't remember the name of it. I do know there's a famous hockey player from Woodstock, though, that's playing for the Leafs, from the same place that I'm talking about. So we would go to this little bookstore, and my mom would take me there and look at books, and I would buy comic books. They would have them in just this little shelf in bags and backer boards, and the little price on them there. And I remember the old gentleman there that was running it, he wanted to take a look at my comic books, and I brought in a whole bunch that I had some Fantastic Four, and this was early 80s, right? Early 80s, or early 80s. So it would have been John Byrne doing Fantastic Four around that time. And I brought those in, a stack of cool stuff that I thought I had. And he was like, oh, yeah, I'll give you like $1.20 for them. And he went to take them away from him, and I grabbed them back. And I was like, no, it's okay. And I was just little at the time, probably 7 or 8 years old. Like, no. And I pulled them back from him, and it was the funniest thing. You're not getting my comics, buddy. You're not ripping me off either. So I just went back and did some more shopping. So that's where I started off getting my comics. And then I'd visit my relatives in Toronto, and we would go to the big comic book stores, Silver Snail and stuff like that. And that's when it really got out of control and awesome. That's where I started collecting comic books. The very, very first was my dad bringing me home comic books when I was sick. When I was like in grade 1 or something like that. And they were Spider-Man. And they were great. And that was right around the time that the Clone Saga originally started. That's in the late 70s. Okay, so my comic book collection is pretty immense. What you need, now, Brent, you got to have bags and backer boards in all your comics. So there's the backer boards that I get. They're not the top of the line. They're not the worst. They're right in the middle. I like the Silver Age size. There's different sizes on you're going to see. The bottom here says silver, okay? All right, so if you know all this stuff, I apologize. Just listen along. But it's for the beginners. So Silver Age. The Silver Age is wider because back in the olden days when they made comics, they called them Silver Age. Gold before that. They're a little wider than the ones that we make today. And of course, bags. And then you put your bag over top of the comic in the backboard, tape it up, and away you go. All right. And then there's these boxes I have here. Now, these boxes are the shorter version. This is a short box. Like a short bus? Short box. You can get the longer ones, but I find them really heavy. So I like these ones. Like $7. Then they stay up straight. And if you keep them, like the closet's a good spot. It's nice up here in my office. You don't want to put them in a damp basement, though, obviously, right? Or in an attic that's like super humid. It's paper, friends. You don't want to do that to your comic books, okay? Don't do that to your comic books. If you're going to do that to your comic books, call me and I will come and get them. I will take your comic books for you. Okay. Now, another good thing to, if you're like, depending on how serious you want to collect too, but if you're right in there, and another thing, if you're an avid collector as well, and you're constantly missing out on books that are coming out, it's like, oh man, it's like I didn't get there in time. I don't have a local comic book store near me. I didn't know it was coming. I could have reserved it, but I had no idea. And now he doesn't have any left. So these are magazines are free. It was a previews. It's called Marvel Previews. So this is for Marvel. DC has one as well. I don't think I have it handy. I thought I did. Anyway. So and this tells you what's coming up. So this way, you can go in there and you can see if there's an issue coming up or something you've heard about and you want to tell somebody at a store to reserve it for you. These are great. And they're free. Did I mention they're free? Like, just what a great read, too. Tells you everything that's going on. As we're talking about The Star Wars section nowadays is just crazy, right? So we've got like these are new Star Wars books that are coming out. And of course is our friend Boba Fett we were just talking about. So we're seeing some cool stories about him right now. They're crossing over, excuse me, into most of the books. Look at that one right there, IG-88. Hey, Brent, you'll see some IG-88 action. And then, of course, more Star Wars books. There's Darth Vader. There's a lot of Star Wars books that Marvel has available right now. You can check out what it is here for free in this magazine. Probably go online. I'm thinking as well, but I don't. Oh, I got my glasses right here. Anyway, I'm going to look all over the book for that. There it is. Okay, moving along. My comic book collection is very immense. So we got our boxes here. We keep them. We got the bags in the backer boards that we put on them. I have 4 boxes of X-Men titles, and I have from issue 100 to 300 all together consecutively, and a bunch of X-Men titles pre-100. Like I'll show you one of my favorite comic books. My top 5 comic books that I own is in this box right here. This is Marvel Silver Age X-Men titles, which are amazing. The whole John Byrne, Chris Claremont run that they did in the late 70s, early 80s is in here, as well as some other amazing stuff. So got some great Daredevils as well. I got a lot of Daredevil Silver Age and Spider-Man. Those are my 3 main Silver Age, my money makers, really. My big collection holders are the Daredevils, X-Men, and Amazing Spider-Man. Amazing Spider-Man, holy crap. Again, I've got like probably 4 or 5 boxes of Amazing Spider-Man. I'm not talking about Spectacular Spider-Man, Web of Spider-Man. I'm talking the classic Amazing Spider-Man. If you've watched the show before, you know that I am all about the classic Spider-Man. And there's lots of Spider-Man for other people, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I like the Amazing Spider-Man. I'm in for the classic. Okay? So, what I'm going to show you now is my top 5 comics that I own. Okay, I'm just checking to see if everything's good on the screen. Yeah, we're great. All right. So, number 5. We're going into my box of Image comics. If you don't know anything about Image, wow, just Google it, man. We got the Todd father in there. He's the one that is still taking care of business there. And I'm a huge Todd McFarlane fan. So hence that, my 5th favorite. I'm not going by what is the most valuable. I'm just going, this is my 5th favorite comic book in my collection. And I have 3 copies of it. So Spawn #1. I remember when this came out, and I love Todd McFarlane's work. And just as a businessman, he's very influential. He makes great toys. So this is Spawn #1. And you can see I got this 3 times. It's mint. It's mint, my friends. Okay? Yeah, I've got a couple. I have 2 boxes of Image comics. Okay? So I got a whack of Spawn. I have from Spawn 1 up to Spawn 25. All in a row. And then it's sporadic. All over the place. Got the Max, Cyber Force, stuff like that. Okay. Friends, that's number 5. Okay, bouncing over to this box here. It is my New Mutants and X-Force box. Now, I only have 1 New Mutants X-Force box, and I think if you are a comic book fan, you are going to know what New Mutants book I'm going to pull from here. All right? It's not this one. I have this book 10 times. I thought X-Force #1 was going to be a huge moneymaker. And the funny thing is I put this on, it's funny, there's 10 copies in here. I should show everyone. I'm embarrassing though. So this is X-Force #1. This is just a book that I thought I was going to make a ton of money off of back in the day. And never turned anything. And I posted this on my TikTok. You can follow me on TikTok, Chris Machete. And man, people got aggravated. Because somebody said, hey, you never know. There might be a movie, it might be worth something. And then somebody chimed in, well, it'll never be worth anything. That book's crap. And somebody positive would come in again. And it wasn't always just me. It was other people being positive. But there's just a couple negative people. Man, this book set people off. I thought that was kind of funny. So we're discussing Alpha Flight and stuff, and no anger there. Okay, so my number 4 book in my collection, and this is because I know it's going to be worth a lot of money. This is partially a value thing. Excuse me, but this is the first appearance of Deadpool. It's New Mutants #98. This is a '90s comic. Now, when this came out, nobody had any idea that this was going to be worth anything. I would have bought copies of this instead of 10 copies of X-Force #1, right? See, this is the one I wish I got 10 copies of. Because this is, oh man, what's this going for? Like $1,000 maybe? I'm probably wrong. I'm terrible with numbers. Horrible with numbers, my friends. If anybody knows what this is going for, put it down below or let me know. Okay, that's in mint. I mean, that's straight from the comic book store when it came out. All right, so there is number 4, and that's the first appearance of Deadpool, Mutants 98. Now, we're going to number 3. I'm trying to remember what my number 3 was. Oh, I remember now. Okay, so Spider-Man. Oh man, my Spider-Man collection. I could just do another program on it. These are my Silver Age Spider-Mans down here, and these are just, oh my gosh. I got stuff in here, like my oldest Spider-Man right here, which I gotta be really careful with. This was right on the border of making my top 5. That is just like 1964 or something, maybe. Craven's second appearance, I think, Craven the Hunter. Look at that thing. It's in mint shape. Beautiful. So that is the oldest Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, any Spider-Man that I own. But my one, wreck it, my number 3 in my collection would have to go to, I've already had this artist up once. Oh, here it is right here. Okay, so, yeah, another Todd McFarlane. This is for a Spider-Man. This is the first appearance of Venom. Now, again, this is a book that I love having in my collection as well because I bought it for cover price. So, I paid $2 Canadian, so probably with tax, $2.15 or something, for this comic book, and now it's worth thousands of dollars, just like the New Mutants one with the with Deadpool in there, and it's going to grow. It's going to hit more the way things are going, which is awesome. And again, this is mint. Got this right from the comic book store when it came out, which is it's a really cool feeling as a comic book buyer, collector, and just comic book enthusiast when this happens. When you buy something like this, like I could just, even in a stupid scenario, I could get a few $100s for this probably like right now if I put it on, Kijiji or something like. So I only paid $2 for it. That's my point. I'm not selling this. My daughter gets all these comic books and she knows that. She's pretty stoked on that. So that's number 3. Again, there's so much old Spider-Man in there, my friends. Wow, that I could show you. Silver Age, it's just insane. So number 2 now. Now, this is another one that I have a very deep collection on. And this is my Silver Age of Daredevils, okay? Daredevil, in my opinion, is the most consistent comic book that you can buy. If you want to buy a comic book every month and not be let down by the art or the story by Marvel, and you are a little more adult, not looking for somebody who's going to high school, like I was mentioning, just straight on adult being a superhero, and that is Daredevil, man. Daredevil's awesome. The new Daredevils are just beautiful storytelling, amazing art, and it's heading to a point where I don't want to spoil anything, but it's going to be really, really cool. So I would recommend if you are looking to buy new comics and you wanted a Marvel comic, you wanted Spider-Man's a little too kid-like for you, then you should go to Daredevil. And I think that's maybe why he's created, so you had that option back in the day to go above. But without further ado, my number 2 comic book. I got this at Fan Expo. Did not buy this one when it came out on the stands. Is Daredevil number 5. Yeah. And I'm not opening it to remember the year, but it's mid-60s. Look at that. Oh, that's nice, huh, friends? Again, if you're a comic book collector out there, you know what I'm talking about. Beauty. This is my second favorite comic book. So as you can notice, too, Daredevil's suit is yellow and black with some red on it. And that's how Daredevil started out. He didn't start out with his pure red costume. And you can see in the top there, the same thing. And this was really cool. Wally Wood did the art on this, another classic artist. If you like your classic artists, you're going to love this, okay? So this is Daredevil number 5. Holy cow, Daredevil number 5. Amazing. So old. Yeah, okay. So that's number 2. These are great. Sometimes I just come into my office and I'll grab a box of comics, throw on some TV show, and just kind of scoot through them, look through them, and find some gems that I didn't even realize I had. Or a new show will be on by Marvel or DC or something, and I won't realize I had that comic book that reflects a storyline or event that's happened, and it's gone in value. I'm like, score, I do have that one, which is rad. All right, so my biggest Spider-Man and my X-Men collection. See, I stopped buying X-Men, so my Spider-Man collection has probably outgrown my X-Men collection, but my X-Men collection is really awesome. the books I have mean a lot to me because they're the John Byrne storyline is, in my opinion, one of the best storylines and artwork Chris Claremont ever. And Wolverine really kicks out. This is, if you want to find where Wolverine really came from, Hulk 181 was his first appearance, but X-Men, 114, 112, I think it's 111 on is where you're really going to see that. Uncanny X-Men 111 on, so there's where it kind of starts there. And that's where Wolverine really comes from. So I could go on again forever about my X-Men collection. It is immense. Here's one box out of numerous. But again, another fan expo. I did not get this one. Standing in line or going to a grocery store. X-Men number 7. Look at that. That's a beaut, my friends. And the other cool thing about it is just the shape that these are in. It's beautiful, right? So if you're listening and not watching, that's too bad. This is X-Men number 7, and it's from the 60s, late 60s, mid 60s. We've got, I think it's the second appearance of the Blob. And as you can see, there's Scarlet Witch. That's what Scarlet Witch started out so long ago, not with Vision, though, with Quicksilver. And she was in she was the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants with Magneto. Magneto being her father, of course. So Scarlet Witch started out being a villain. I think that might be her 3rd appearance in this book. Could be wrong. If you guys know, correct me or let me know which appearance of Scarlet Witch this is. Well, I almost dropped. This is going away now. My favorite book. So this is my favorite book in my collection. I love the X-Men. And the value of this is going to go up as well, my friends. Now, a book. I'm just going to show one more book before I put the headphones on and turn things back around. And this book is a Wolverine book. And this is another one where you kind of, this is where Wolverine becomes his own. So here it is right here. This is awesome. Oh, man, that's beauty. And again, I got this one back in the day. The diamond on the top there is beautiful. Up the side, right there. So this is great. Wolverine alone. First time you really see Wolverine be the star of the X-Men comic book, and the first time he really cuts loose and he's fighting the Hellfire Club. Now, the Hellfire Club was in the movie First Class. Kevin Bacon was one of the head villains, Sebastian Shaw. I would really like to see them do that again. Properly. All right, Brent. There we go, buddy.
Pretty damn rad, my friends. Pretty damn rad. That was Chris Machete, and we're gonna do this graphic, which of course is this.
Collection there.
That was pretty damn rad. A deep dive into Chris Machete's Chris's stash, as we call it. Keeping with the X-Men theme, I found one or two more little things here that Chris probably digs. So Chris gave me this many moons ago, and it is in plastic and in a backboard. So there we go.
Oh, nice. Oh, those are nice, man. Very cool. Reprints of the first X-Men Marvel masterpiece.
So I got that. And then one of the other ones that you really dig, and some of my favorites artwork. I'm not sure I've brought this out before, but I'm going to break it out right now. Some of my favorite artwork from that time would be this.
Oh, wow. Those Ninja Turtles were great. And they're black and white, correct?
It's black and white. And
I love that art.
I had never saw it. Like, look how rad these look. Like, look at how rad this looks.
Yeah, dude, that kind of artwork is very influential on what I'm doing today. I loved that stuff.
This is like
layered stuff was great.
Yeah, to me that, and I only have one. I have this copy of it that I picked up because I was like all about it and just thought it was going to be great. But that's the only one that I have is this, and I just love this. Like, you know, they're more battled, like Donatello and all that shit that you don't know who each other is. It's just the turtles, you know. So it's great. It's just
I love that stuff, dude.
Some awesome stuff. So
really dark and gritty artwork.
It's pretty rad. Pretty damn rad, I gotta tell you.
So if you could have one of those 5 I showed of my comic books, which one would you take?
Oh boy.
So you had the first appearance of Deadpool, you had the first appearance of Venom, you had the first appearance of Spawn 3 times. You get that one 3 times. You had like X-Men number 7 and what was it, Daredevil number 5.
I think personally, and shoot me for this, I don't have much Daredevil, so I would take the Daredevil.
Yeah.
Personally.
Nice.
Me personally, I just think
Just gonna move this.
I think I would dig having the Daredevil. So if you could just ship that out this way, that'd be great.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, you bet.
You
That's
know
a nice
what I
one.
mean?
The funny thing is I think the Deadpool and the Venom fetch more money than those two old ones.
Mm. For now.
For now,
I don't
yeah.
know if they're going to get this X-Force thing off the ground, so I don't know. I think
Oh no, I don't know either.
I think
We
people are going to be
watched-
Deadpooled out after the next one. I love the Deadpool thing, but I'm guessing he's not going to want to take it into 10 movies or anything. So.
No, but here's the thing. But I was going to mention. I'm glad you brought that up. Deadpool 2 is now available on Disney Plus.
Right.
And I watched that again the other night while I was working, and wow, I really enjoyed that movie.
Is it the edit? I don't like that. I don't like that kid. The kid drives me crazy.
You're not supposed to like him, I know.
No, but I just don't like him in general. Like he's in everything he acts in.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Everything he acts in, I'm just like, you little shit. And because some kids just like they act.
well, dude,
like, oh,
do
cool.
you have the picture of that screen of that kid staring in the camera I was telling you about from Avengers Endgame?
Oh, you sent it the other day, right?
Yeah, the guy's son, right? The guy, he puts him in all his movies, and he always stares right at the screen. And there's a small cult of us that are really getting annoyed with him.
Yeah. Well, little shits. I know.
But did you saw it though, right?
I
We're
saw,
staring
yeah,
right at the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
Don't look at the camera. Yeah, that was funny.
And he's one of the sons of the brothers there or whatever.
So we got some great stuff out of that. That's Chris's stash, and you can catch Chris on. When you want to see more of that, check him out on TikTok because he's killing it. We're also on the TikTok now, which you can find us. And it's climbing. It's definitely the program to be on for what we're doing. Let's see. Let's get a TikTok. I don't know if we have TikTok music yet.
We're almost at 500.
It's 400. It's 416. There's got to be some kind of like thing there. So anyways, find us at Kids on the Escalator. We got 416 followers. How about that shit?
I'm almost at 1,000 on my Chris Machete Twitter. Or TikTok. Chris Machete TikTok. Yeah. I'm almost at 1,000. So if you could come help me out, I'll follow you back and can
totally follow all of us. I just cracked 1,100 because of my COVID videos. So it's because over your shit. I got COVID still. It's real. I'm on 2 inhalers. Fuck you. That's basically how it's been going for me in the last week. I went viral twice for 2 different things. We went viral for this show and another kind of thing. And then I put something out. I was a little edgy. I'm going to go with this. I was a little edgy last week. I was on the ice and then I was having a really hard time on the ice. And that's not something I'm used to. I'm just not used to it. I'm used to, having cardio and being able to do the thing. And I was having a bit of a moment, and I was getting inundated with some anti-vax stuff and all the rest of it at the time. And I don't get too far into it, but I was like, I'm going to record a little something because I'm a little edgy. So I recorded one video that would have split Adam for sure. I slept and went back and then started another video, and that's the one that you saw. But it did a little bit of it got out there. And mostly I had Dean retweet it and stuff because I really love it when his people come after me.
Ooh, there you go.
And I got no shortage of help from people saying, hey, you should try this and you should try that. And
that's good.
That side, and hey, thanks everybody. Awesome. But that side of the equation really doesn't want me to be going through this because of COVID. I'll just tell you that. But I am into all the alternative stuff. Bring it in. Let me hear it. I'm just waiting for the aliens to fix this whole thing anyways. So
they will.
Blah, 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 blah. Anyways, people. So we went viral in essence twice last week with that, and then that did pretty well. So keep going.
If you saw our show last week, you saw a moment of history.
You missed a great one.
You did. It was a moment of history, man. It really was. That's why you can't miss a single show, because you never know who's going to drop by the show. We actually had to kind of low key it this week because we had so much heat on us. You might say. So we kind of had to low key it and just kind of hold up here in
real heat.
Studios,
We're talking real wrestling heat. So anyway,
I know I'm being serious here. Like, so we had to we had to kind of relax this and just let the steam settle and the smoke dissipate. So next week, we'll be right back at it to offend everybody and go
check
go
us out
viral
next week.
again.
We're going to
So
offend everybody, but yeah.
yeah,
We'll be back next week, everybody. We're just doing the hour tonight. I'm running off to a physio with the daughter. I'm actually back on the ice tonight. I'm going to try to make it through this game without dying, and do the whole thing. But my friends, you can catch Chris Machete on all the things: Facebook, Twitter, all the things, TikTok. He's, as mentioned, he's getting there on the TikTok. Amazing. As mentioned, and we've said 1,000 times, the grown-ups are making the best content on TikTok. I'm just saying. And Chris's stuff is really rad. Feel
thank you.
free
I have a lot of comic
to
book friends on there.
kidsontheescalator.com. Join us over there on kidsontheescalator.com. You can follow Chris. You can follow me over on Twitter and all the things as well, Instagram, and all those kind of things. That's where I'm at. And I've got that other show that I do where we talk to a lot of bands. I just got confirmation. Don't know if he's watching at this second. Ted from Death
DiBiase?
Angel. Ted from Death Angel is going to
Oh,
come on and
wow.
hang out for a little while. He's got some shows coming up with Testament and a few other things. So we're going to have him on to come on and shoot the shit and talk comics and all the rest of it.
Oh, on this show, not on the call.
this
He's going to come
show.
on this show.
No. He's going to come on this show.
Oh, beautiful, man.
So
I
that's
got some
great.
questions for. I've been
I
listening to
met him.
Death Angel since they were probably 14 years old.
So I met him on a forum, and then he's been a big fan of like just staying in touch and stuff. He's been awesome. And I have, the other show where I'm kind of doing roundtables on what I do for a living, but what we've been going through with COVID and all the rest of it. I am going to take a break from that side of it for just a week or two and let the dust settle from the tragedy that is down in the South this past weekend in Houston. So I'm going to kind of go a different way. And I'm actually going to bring a doctor buddy of mine on my show
Cool.
to talk about the shit that I'm going on that no one believes that I have. So that's going to be, I'm going to do that kind of thing because I want to rile some people up and see if we can, break the internet again. Follow us on all the things. Thank you, everybody. Monday night.
One thing I want to mention before we go, I see a lot of people out there doing the Spider-Man thing going, phew, phew, phew. That's not how you do it. It's like this. Whip, 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 whip. That's how it's whip. That's what you do. Now you know.
This has been Old Man on a Chair for another Monday night.
Hey,
Kids on the
he was the
Escalator.
one telling me to say it, man. I was trying to help him out.
Thanks to our friends at DeanBlundell.com. Stick around on the network. Bonzi is live right now from California
Bonzi,
doing
cheers,
the thing.
brother.
Bonzi, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for joining us last week. Kids on the Escalator podcast for another week. Thank you, everybody. Good times.
Rad dudes.
Yeah, we'll see you next time, eh? All right, eh? Okay. Bye-bye.